Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner. For the first time in 12 years, the Wildcats start the season out 4-0. They beat Central Methodist University yesterday 24-14 in Fayette, Missouri. Coach, just talk a little bit about that game. First off, how do you feel after that win?
Well, all the wins are good, but 3 out of 4 on the road to start the season. Fayette, Missouri is a unique place to go to. I thought our kids handled the trip real well. Their style of offense, an option type team, it's the second option offense we've seen in the 4 games. I felt like scheme-wise they had a good scheme going offensively, and then defensively they threw a couple things at us early that we had to adjust to. So it got, the thing I told the team today was, hey, we always had to lead. We got up 7, then they scored, and then we blocked the extra point. Big block by Luke Repke that was huge for us. But throughout the game, we had to lead, even though it was a tough match.
Now, one of the biggest headlines this week was the return of quarterback Jake Morse. He came in, he was 12 for 18, 254 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Looking from the stands, you cannot see any difference in his play.
No, and I think a lot of people that know that injury couldn't believe he was out there. And people were looking, pregame, okay, is he gimpy? Is he doing everything that needs to be done at the quarterback position? And in the whole week of practice, we didn't see anything that was holding him back. We put him through the test all week, and you never know till the game time, because in the game time, your mind's on the offense and what you need to do to produce, and it's not on, oh, my leg and how am I going to put it in the ground and make sure I stay healthy. And then that hit that you don't see. And early on, he took a couple hits that I thought, okay, maybe, he's going to be all right. And first couple throws were shaky, and then he settled in and played the way he knows how to play. And he's one tough kid, and our team rallied around him. That's nothing, Sam Boston did a great job for us for 2.5 games, and Sam will be ready to go. But we're going to need both of them throughout the season.
Now, Reggie Harris came out yesterday and had a fantastic game. He started the scoring off with a 69-yard touchdown reception from Jake Morse. He's averaging 66 yards a game receiving. This is not the Reggie we've seen in the years past.
Well, he's a senior. He needs to do that. He's a guy that decided not to run track in the spring to concentrate on football, and I think it helped him a lot. That pitch and catch that him and Jake had early on a slant route was as good as it can be. Jake threw it on time, hit him in stride, and Reggie went for 80 yards. He's making play after play for us. He's a great return guy, so we're excited about that.
Now, Baker's been known to be a team that makes its living on the ground. Last week it was all Jermaine Broomfield. This week Dylan Baxter took over. How does the strategy change each week with those 2 running backs?
Well, I think you go into the game knowing both of them have a different style running. Dylan sees the hole real well. Jermaine's, like I said before, an angry runner. I take that from Coach Regalado, and that's what he wants out of him. It's 2 different speeds, hitting the hole, and then they both can accelerate and get through and make big plays. I like the combination. They like each other. They feed off each other. We're starting to get Dylan involved in the red zone a little bit more, which is good because, he attracts a lot of attention, which opens up some other things for us offensively. So, from a standpoint of the run game, I think we're doing real well, and I think we're on track.
Now, everybody knew the capabilities that Dylan had coming into this season, obviously from USC. Yesterday, he had 15 carries for 94 yards, 6 yards a carry. But what impressed me most standing on the sideline was his leadership abilities.
Yeah, and he's been making the tough yard. Some of those 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2s, there's guys in his face in the backfield, and he understands, hey, I got to get to the sticks and get us moving and get us a first down. I saw some good stuff out of him. In fact, I think when Hatch scored that touchdown off the tip pass, the first guy down there was Baxter celebrating with him, which, we don't want guys running off the sideline down to the end zone. We could get a flag there, so I'm going to have to warn him about that. But, that's what it's all about. When you score, celebrate. And, I think he's doing it in a positive way. There's nothing negative towards the other team. It's with his teammates. And his leadership starting to come out. You saw that. We had some adversity out on the field, and I saw him bring it over, the offensive huddle and just kind of talk to him in a pretty good way and get them going. So, yeah, we need that out of guys that have experience.
Now, speaking of adversity, yesterday in the fourth quarter, Ian Autry gets a penalty. He's ejected from the game. What's his current status leading into this week?
Well, right now, Ian's not going to play next week unless something that I don't know rule that we could get by. He's for sure going to sit, but I'm pretty sure he's not available. He made a mistake. It was in the heat of the battle. He's apologized to his coaches and teammates. It's out of character. Ian's not that type of guy, and he's going to pay for it, and we're going to pay for it. That's 6'6", 310 pounds. It's started for a year and a half now. We're going to have to shuffle Justin McCandless out from the starting guard position and insert Tanner Clark, a redshirt freshman. So we're going to adapt and survive, but that's a big blow to our offense.
Well, that's a word about the Baker offense. We're going to take a quick break. Just a reminder, we are live here at Monty's Seafood and Barbecue every Sunday night at 6, and 25% of the proceeds will be split between KMU TV and the Baker football team. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Coach Grossner to talk about the Baker defense. Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. We are back here with head coach Mike Grossner. Now, we've discussed the Baker offense. Now it's time to take a look at the defense. And, Coach, the defense had one of their toughest battles of the season this year. Central Methodist rushed for over 300 yards against the Wildcats. But as much as they've bent this season, they've rarely broken.
Yeah, that's our philosophy. Of course, we want to stop them. First down's a big play for us on defense. And I felt like Central was getting some yards on first down, which put us in some tough situations. But what I'm proud of our defense, and Coach Thorne preaches it, is defend your end zone. The game is won with points, and we do a great job of keeping people out of the end zone. And then Luke Repke with that block of the extra point, I think set the tone when they attempted 2 field goal attempts. That guy was a little nervous about Luke in the middle.
Now, this is the second option offense you guys have faced this year. What's the difference that Central Methodist was able to bring out in you guys that Peru State couldn't?
We don't want to see any more options. No, I thought scheme-wise and up front they were pretty good. They had a plan, and they were going to feed the fullback, and which they did, and he gained some good yards on first down. And then they had 2 quarterbacks. We knocked the first one out, but the second quarterback could run as well, and he's pretty lightning on the edge, and then he can throw the football a little bit. So I thought, with their toss game as well, they got outside until we adjusted. Emerson Clark started playing the crack and playing the cut block better and turning it back inside to our guys that were flowing. And, the biggest thing I think defensively, and I told the team this today, is we stepped up in the crucial situations. When we put together that goal line stand, that was huge. They're going in to score and momentum, and on second down, Ryder Wirtz flies outside, turns it back in. The posse's there to tackle them on third down. Gunnar McKenna in man coverage on the outside. Big tackle on the 2-yard line. They go for it on fourth down. Adrian Pearson jumps back in and fills on the backside and stops him on the goal line. And then we knock it out offensively. That's tough. First down call, I kind of smiled at Regs because he throws the ball to Jake Green on a slant route. That's a gutsy call, from the 1-yard line. But that's what we are. We trust our players to make plays, and I love it. We're growing together.
Now, you mentioned Ryder Wirtz. He sat out the first half, came into the third quarter, rallied the troops. How does the huddle change when he's in there?
Well, he was chomping at the bit, and we talked to him at halftime, are you ready to go? And he had a twinkle in his eye. I could tell he wanted to play, and we need him. We needed a burst of energy. We needed our veteran backer in there, and he brought that to the defense. He's flying around just like he normally does. Made a big stop. Even though he had quarterback early, he dove in there and stopped the dive, and then we had to corral him and say, hey, do your job. But he made some big plays for us in the second half.
Now, Adam Steele led this team with 12 tackles this week. One of the biggest plays was when he took out the quarterback for CMU. How does that game change with their starting quarterback leaving?
I think that young man could run the option well. He was real smooth on the exchange with the fullback. He looked like he could pull the ball down and run it, had some good size. He's not quite the thrower that Bryant was. But I think that hurt him. Anytime you lose your starting quarterback, it's going to affect you. But Bryant Jackson, their other guy, had been the starter for 3 years. So when he came in, we knew, okay, here's the threat of the run as well as the pass. So I'm not sure he didn't play a little bit better as the game went than the other guy would have. But it's nice to remove one from the game, and then you know who you're going to face the rest of the game.
Now, we've seen a lot of heart from your defense and your team in general all year long. Coming into this week, I could see a lot of difference of a change on the sideline, especially after the end of the game, and those guys really appreciated that win this week.
Yeah, it was a tough battle. You know, the game of football is momentum. I don't think we ever quite grabbed the momentum for the whole game and to pull away. But like I said, every situation that presented itself that we could have lost momentum in that game, we regained it. You know, they scored, went for 2, tied it up at 14. Offensively, we go 2 plays, touchdown. They probably had momentum for 3 minutes. That's not very good. You know, so that's what I'm most proud of is as both units were playing this game, we fed off each other. We had confidence that we'd finish the game, and we did. And in the end, you know, even our special team stepped up. Steven Stewart had clanked one off the uprights earlier, and then he gets out there and hits a 37-yarder. You know, that's his 4th career attempt, and that was a big kick to go up 2 scores.
Well, that's the word on the Baker defense from head coach Mike Grossner. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be with linebacker Ryder Wirtz here on the Coach's Corner live at Monty's. We are now here live with linebacker Ryder Wirtz. And Ryder, you've seen limited playing time the past couple weeks due to an arm injury. As of now, where does that injury stand?
It's doing well, thanks. I took it off. I hurt it a little bit Tuesday in practice, and so I had limited reps. And then after that, it was feeling good on Saturday, so they put me in at a little bit shortly after halftime.
Now, you were a huge spark for this defense in the second half last night. What is your role for this defense?
Well, I think the defense was already sparked by the time I went in. I was actually pretty shocked they put me in. We just gotten a second down stop. But I think my role, it's pretty much an organizer at this point, getting everybody lined up, and the rest of my team does a real good job of doing that, so it makes my job easy. All I got to do is worry about the A-gaps pretty much.
Now, a couple of times last night in some key situations, and Coach Grossner mentioned a couple already, we saw number 9 coming up from the bottom of that pile. Walk us through defending that option offense. You know, I know it's a very complex offense for some positions.
Yeah, well, the most time when I was in there, we were playing cover 2 to it, and so that just gives me dive responsibility, makes my job really easy. And they had been getting some yards on us up the middle throughout the game, so I was really interested in getting in there and seeing if I could do something about it.
Now, this is the first time in your career at Baker that you've been 4-0. How do you appreciate the fact that you're 4-0, but at the same time look on to next week against one of the biggest games of the season?
Well, you definitely appreciate it, but I think having Mo Val week 5 definitely it helps you look ahead. It's going to be a physical week of practice. We know we got some big boys coming to town, and we're ready to take them on.
All right, well, that's linebacker Ryder Wirtz. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with quarterback Jake Morse here on the Coach's Corner live at Monty's. And welcome back to the Coach's Corner here live at Monty's. Just a reminder, 25% of the proceeds on Sunday nights go back to CMU TV and the Baker football team, so please come out and support the cause. We are now here with starting quarterback Jake Morse. Jake, week 1 you go down with an injury. Many people thought that it would be a season-ending injury. 3 weeks later you come out and have what could be your best game so far at Baker. Walk us through coming back through that injury and coming out and having such a great game.
Right, you know, it was tough to begin with, you know, coming down with the injury, but you know, fight through it, got the swelling out, got range of motion back, and then got back out and played.
Now, you connected to Reggie Harris early for a 69-yard touchdown. I know there had to be a lot of things going on in your mind when he caught that ball.
Right, yeah, you know, it kind of broke the ice. First completion of the year, basically, for me. You know, Reggie did a great job. Bolton did a great job getting out in front, getting the block to seal the deal for us. So.
Now, you had a big QB draw play that was called last night. It was called back for an illegal formation penalty. Is that a play that you called, or did Coach Regalado pull that one out?
Yeah, Coach Regalado pulled it out. It definitely wasn't my call, but he asked me, you know, if I could get it done, and I said, yeah. You know, the line did a great job blocking for us, and we just got up the middle and made a play, but unfortunately got called back. But that's the way it goes.
Now, if there was any questions about your injury, I think you answered them on that play.
I think so. You know, I felt pretty good last night. So.
Okay, now the pieces are really starting to come together for you guys. The run game's working. The pass game looked great last night, and the defense has been strong all season. You guys are heading into week 5 now against Missouri Valley, a top 5 team in the nation. What's going through your mind? What does the team need to do to win this game?
We just need to prepare. You know, we need to get in the film room this week. We need to practice hard. We just need to continue to do the things we've done the past 4 weeks. If we do that, I think we'll come out.
All right, well, that's starting quarterback Jake Morse. We're going to take one more break. We'll come back and we'll talk to Coach Grossner about the upcoming game at Missouri Valley this week. We'll be right back on the Coach's Corner here live at Monty's. Back to Monty's Seafood and Barbecue. The 4-0 Wildcats will come back for their second home game of the season, and Missouri Valley comes into town. The number 5 ranked Vikings, Coach. This is going to be a big game, possibly the NAIA game of the week. What's the game plan heading into this week?
Well, status quo, I think. I mean, we've been doing a nice job of preparation. Our kids understand what it's going to take. They're going to practice hard. Our coaches will prepare. We'll have a great game plan, both sides of the ball. You know, I tried to explain some history to our guys today. You know, Mo Val's a very good football team. We respect them a ton. You know, this is year 9 that I've been here. Most of my staff's been here as well. At home, we're 2-2 against them. Against a team that's gone to the Final Four 2 times in this past 9 years. So, or the past 8 years. But I feel very confident in our team, our preparation. And it's going to be a slobber knocker. If that's probably the word to use. I mean, they're a physical football team. They're going to run downhill at you, and then defensively they're going to sit in a 3-4, but they're going to come after you and they're going to hit you. And our team's going to do the same. It's a great mid-season matchup. You know, we've played the first quarter, and we're 4-0. And now this game 5 is real important to our program and our school. And you know, I told the kids, hey, you deserve it. It's a great week for us as a football program, and let's just go play.
All right, well, we'll see what the Wildcats can do this Saturday. That game will be at Liston Stadium, and it will start at 6 p.m. That's going to do it all for this week. A big thanks to Monty's Seafood and Barbecue owners John Cook and Monica Cook, also to Coach Grossner. And a big thanks to Ziamara Nunez, Clayton Knapp, and Ricky Thine for all of the setup and production. And that will do it for this week on the Coach's Corner. We'll be live here next week at Monty's starting at 6 p.m. Have a great week.
Great effort in the second half. Big stop down on the goal line. Drive the ball all the way down the field. Hold the clock. Run the game out. Stop after stop in the second half. Love it. Fellas, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty, but we knew that. That's the type of team we were playing. They played some good football. We played better. Right? Hey, you're 4-0. I hear 24-hour. Enjoy it. Okay? Then we got a big week ahead of us. I love all y'all. Let them know.